The impact of heat and humidity on racing pigeons, ensuring optimal performance and health. Introduction. Racing pigeons and their unique heat regulation. Racing pigeons possess a fascinating ability to regulate their body temperature in the absence of sweat glands. Unlike humans and many other animals, racing pigeons rely on their air sacs to control heat and hydration. During respiration, moisture from the lining of the air sacs evaporates, resulting in a cooling effect. However, this process also leads to fluid loss and potential dehydration. In this article, we will delve into the effects of heat and humidity on race day and explore essential strategies for keeping your racing pigeons well hydrated. Dehydration, a critical concern. Understanding the importance of hydration. As racing pigeons strive to maintain their cool, they engage in panting, which increases air circulation through their air sacs, facilitating moisture evaporation and subsequent cooling. However, this panting process also causes a loss of fluid, making hydration a vital aspect of their well-being. Without access to water, racing pigeons are unable to replenish their fluid stores, leading to a condition known as secondary hyperthermia. This condition can progress rapidly and even result in the death of the bird. Recognizing dehydration symptoms. The impact of dehydration on racing pigeons. Even a slight dehydration level of 5% can significantly affect the performance and health of racing pigeons. When exposed to temperatures of approximately 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, for just 24 hours, the signs of dehydration become noticeable. At this stage, the bird becomes quiet and fluffs up its feathers in an attempt to increase air circulation and regulate body temperature. As dehydration reaches 10%, the bird's behavior becomes increasingly subdued and fluffed. When dehydration reaches 15%, blood flow to vital organs, including the brain, decreases, resulting in impaired consciousness and a heightened risk of death. Environmental factors, watch out. Conditions that contribute to dehydration. As dedicated racing pigeon fanciers, it is essential to be mindful of weather conditions on race day that can exacerbate the risk of dehydration in these remarkable birds. Here are some environmental factors to keep an eye on. High temperatures, exposing racing pigeons to temperatures above 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, without access to water can lead to rapid dehydration. Low humidity, reduced humidity accelerates fluid loss as less moisture flows through the air sacs. High humidity, conversely, high humidity inhibits evaporative cooling, increasing the likelihood of hyperthermia. Headwinds, strong headwinds demand additional effort from racing pigeons, leading to increased respiration rates and further fluid loss. This, in turn, contributes to dehydration. Preventing hyperthermia and dehydration. Ensuring optimal performance and well-being. To safeguard the performance and well-being of your racing pigeons, effective prevention measures must be in place. Here are some strategies to implement. Provision of ample water. The foremost preventive measure is to provide an uninterrupted supply of water. From the moment of basketing until the birds reach the race point the following day, water should be readily available. This approach ensures that your racing pigeons begin the race fully hydrated. Water upon return. Upon their return, offer water to your racing pigeons immediately. This is especially crucial if water was unavailable along the race route. By allowing the birds to drink upon their return, you can swiftly restore lost fluids, re-establish hydration, and aid in their cooling process. Addressing transporter challenges. Transporting racing pigeons presents a unique challenge, as the confined space of a transporter can generate significant heat, even on cooler days. Adequate ventilation is paramount to prevent overheating and excessive moisture evaporation from the bird's air sacs, which could lead to dehydration. Additionally, ensuring easy access to water during transportation is vital for maintaining optimal hydration levels. Conclusion. Appreciating the effects of heat and humidity. Understanding and mitigating the effects of heat and humidity on racing pigeons is essential for their success on the racetrack. By prioritizing hydration and effective heat management, you can optimize their performance and overall health. From providing continuous access to water during the race journey to ensuring proper ventilation in transporters, every measure taken to prevent dehydration and hyperthermia contributes to the well-being and success of your racing pigeons. Stay vigilant, take proactive steps, and witness your pigeons soar to new heights of achievement. Over the past 5 years, I've dedicated a significant amount of time to thorough research, seeking elusive details about individual pigeons that consistently rank in the top 2% in union races. The results of my research have been remarkable and well worth the effort. When searching for a quality pigeon, it's crucial to consider the conditions and health of the loft it comes from. Surprisingly, some of the most optimal racing pigeons are found in small and unlikely lofts, making them rare finds. Interestingly, I've discovered that lofts with a large number of pigeons or those that send many pigeons to races tend to have a lower proportion of high-performing pigeons. In other words, lofts with numerous pigeons in one place are counterproductive. While such lofts may have a few exceptional pigeons, the ratio of pigeons to performance differs significantly compared to lofts with fewer birds. Just like putting too many people in a room, overcrowding a loft reduces efficiency, leading to discomfort and potential issues like depression and irritability among pigeons. Therefore, to obtain more top-quality racing pigeons, it's essential to maintain an appropriate ratio of pigeons to loft space, ensuring optimal conditions for them to thrive. Panting in racing pigeons after exercise. Any healthy and fit racing pigeon that engages in intense flying within a short period will pant. This panting is similar to a marathon runner catching their breath after a sprint, as birds pant to recover from the oxygen deficit caused by the burst of activity. Frequent falcon attacks can cause birds to exhibit reluctance to leave the loft and fly further. They may instead fly in tight circles around the loft, driven by fear of encountering falcons. Each country experiences its peak falcon and hawk activity season, and during this time, fearful behavior in birds may be observed. If you notice a high level of fear in your racing team, even when hawk and falcon activity decreases, it may have become a habit. To break this habit and build the bird's confidence in flying without fear, short tosses for 7 to 10 days can be beneficial. Additionally, these tosses provide the necessary exercise for the birds. Panting after exercise can be considered a positive sign when observed in a few birds following a training toss. It indicates that the team is fit and pushing themselves to the limit. The tossing exercises improve their overall fitness. Healthy yet unfit birds will recover quickly, and their droppings will remain normal, indicating good overall health. However, birds that return home panting and take longer to recover should be examined for potential underlying causes of panting and reduced endurance. Continuing to toss sick birds will only worsen their illness, prolonging recovery time. Changes in droppings, such as turning green or watery, may be indicators of illness. Additionally, pay attention to the muscles of exercised birds. If birds are essentially fit but have been pushed beyond their capacity, their muscles may appear bluish and become tense due to cramping. This can also occur in birds that are ill but forced to engage in physical activity. Consistency in breeding. It is advisable to maintain around 4 separate lines within the pigeon family, although having 5 or 6 lines is also acceptable if space permits. These lines should be kept separate and maintained through flying and breeding. Crossbreeding between these lines can be done when necessary. With proper care, a line can be maintained for 15 to 20 years without much complication. After that, introducing new blood may be necessary to invigorate the genes. However, caution should be exercised when introducing new blood, as inferior bloodlines may undermine the progress made. To find new blood, seek out someone who is successfully. To maintain consistency in breeding, it is recommended to have around 4 separate lines within the pigeon family. If space permits, having 5 or 6 lines is also acceptable. These lines should be kept separate and preserved through flying and breeding. When needed, you can crossbreed between these lines. By maintaining these lines, you can sustain them for 15 to 20 years with relative ease. However, after that period, introducing new blood may be necessary to rejuvenate the gene pool. When seeking new bloodlines, it's crucial to be mindful of the time and effort invested in building your existing line. Bringing in inferior blood would not be a desirable option. Finding someone who has established a loft of consistent birds that align with your racing philosophy can be helpful when seeking new bloodlines. It may take some trial and error to find the right match, and sometimes the offspring or grandchildren of the new additions can be the ones that excel. Remember, in the beginning, it's akin to casting a net to catch fish. You may not acquire anything worth keeping in the first few attempts. It requires multiple tries, and only the best pigeons should be retained. Once your family of pigeons is established, your primary focus should be on nurturing and developing your own line. Avoid the temptation to continuously acquire pigeons from different families, as you will not experience the true satisfaction of building a consistent line. Introducing new birds brings in a host of new genetic material that needs to be assessed and culled. The more time you spend on this process, the less attention you can give to improving your line. While it's acceptable to try out different pigeons initially to determine what suits your needs, it's important to commit to your chosen line after that. Continuously purchasing pigeons and succumbing to the addiction of acquiring new blood will lead to flying someone else's work. This may suit some individuals, but it doesn't align with the mindset of a dedicated breeder. Some may claim that siblings of champions produce the best results. However, this indicates that the family has not yet been firmly established. In a well-established family, the champions themselves should produce the finest offspring. This is evidence of a family built upon proven champion bloodlines. Once you recognize the traits of a champion, such as confidence displayed in their expression, you will have a better understanding of what to look for. There is nothing quite like a true, air-proven athlete. Enjoy your journey in pigeon racing, and remember that it is ultimately for your own enjoyment. Have fun along the way. To become a champion, one must possess certain qualities and avoid common pitfalls. Likewise, individuals who will never achieve champion status share similar characteristics. The main reason behind their failure is not the occurrence of mistakes, as everyone makes them, but rather their lack of awareness and continuous repetition of those mistakes. Mistake 1. Placing excessive value on names, strains, and pedigrees is a grave error. This misplaced emphasis has already resulted in numerous disappointments. Mistake 2. Non-champions often take action at the wrong time. They turn to medication either too early or too late. When their pigeons perform poorly, they believe that medicine can help. However, being in poor condition does not necessarily mean they are sick. Administering medication for non-existent diseases weakens the birds. Conversely, taking action when the birds are on the brink of death is too late. Mistake 3. Lack of confidence is a common trait among non-champions. They constantly change their methods, jumping from one approach to another. While there are several effective systems and equally as many flawed ones, the worst mistake is constantly switching between them. Mistake 4. Establishing a strong bond with the pigeons is crucial, particularly in young bird racing. When an unsuccessful fancier enters their loft, the birds yearn to escape as they lack trust in the individual. In contrast, when a champion is among his birds, they feel at ease while still being under his control. The champion assumes the role of a general, and the birds become disciplined soldiers. Champions interact and play with their birds, whereas non-champions play with the birds themselves. Mistake 5. Non-champions seek remedies to cure their birds from diseases. Champions, on the other hand, focus on preventing their birds from falling ill. They pay close attention to the environment, ensuring their loft is clean and well maintained. The drinking water in the champion's loft is consistently clear, while non-champions often provide colored water. Non-champions display excessive sympathy towards unhealthy birds, whereas champions promptly eliminate such individuals. They possess a firm yet gentle touch. Mistake 6. Overfeeding, particularly with excessive protein intake such as an abundance of peas, is a significant error in young bird racing. Peas are suitable for nestlings that require nourishment for growth. However, for young racing pigeons, peas can be detrimental. Mistake 7. Many non-champions are naive when it comes to breeding. They fail to recognize the importance of good fortune in this process. Merely pairing a superb male with an equally impressive hen or its sister does not guarantee the automatic production of outstanding offspring. It is a more complex and nuanced process. Mistake 8. Non-champions often fall victim to the influence of press and the propaganda propagated by illusionary brokers. In contrast, champions maintain a realistic perspective. Mistake 9. The stock loft of non-champions often contains breeders that have been present for several years but have never produced quality birds. It raises questions about the purpose of keeping such birds. Mistake 10. A misconception among some is that bigger pigeons are stronger pigeons. However, modern racing pigeons are actually becoming smaller. It is often the smaller pigeons that possess the endurance to withstand harsh weather conditions and cover greater distances. Get my main racing system, just email me direct. I'm an experienced ex-pigeon racer from England, and I can offer valuable insights and guidance on all aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to racing. During my racing days, I managed a small team of no more than 70 pigeons, including stock, young birds, and old birds. It was not uncommon for me to send as few as 6 birds to a race and still secure the top 3 positions out of up to 2,500 pigeons in my club and federation. My race distances typically ranged up to 300 miles, and I consistently achieved top 5 placements in my club. My expertise extends to the art of selecting excellent breeders, including evaluating pigeons based on their eye-sign characteristics. I firmly believe that true champions can only be bred from top quality stock, and I can guide you in identifying and acquiring such pigeons. I understand that many pigeons for sale are advertised based on their lineage or pedigree, but I emphasize the importance of assessing the bird itself rather than relying solely on paperwork. As part of my offer, I invite you to share photos of your pigeons, including their eye sign and wing characteristics. I'll provide you with free advice on racing and breeding based on my extensive experience and knowledge. Additionally, I will share auction links to high-quality breeding birds that have the potential to produce winners in your loft. Here's what you can expect to receive from me. A comprehensive Word document containing valuable insights and strategies for successful pigeon racing, including specific racing methods for both old and young birds, as well as general advice. Private YouTube videos sent to your email, covering various aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to race preparation. Detailed recommendations on supplements and additives to add to your pigeon's drinking water, with scientific evidence supporting their effectiveness. Similar products are used by professional athletes and racehorses to enhance performance. Assurance that your pigeons will race home faster, provided that you have quality birds to begin with.